What makes this case especially consequential is the broader constitutional question it poses. While presidents have long asserted broad powers under statutes like IEPA, this ruling draws a sharp line. The court essentially said emergency powers are not blank checks. This is not the first time courts have wrestled with the scope of presidential trade authority, but rarely has a decision gone so far as to knock down tariffs already in place and affecting nearly all imports. Legal scholars note that the ruling could have a ripple effect on future presidents, limiting their ability to use economic tools unilaterally in times of crisis. If upheld by the Supreme Court, the decision could mark a turning point in restoring congressional primacy in trade policy. As of this weekend, both the Treasury Department and the Commerce Department have declined to comment. Their silence speaks volumes. Both agencies were central in implementing Trump's trade agenda, and both now face uncertainty over how to respond if the tariffs are lifted. Inside Washington, reactions are mixed. Some lawmakers in Congress, particularly Democrats and a handful of free trade Republicans, welcomed the ruling as a reassertion of constitutional order. Others warned that undermining the president's ability to act decisively on trade could weaken America's global standing. For Trump, the political stakes are high. With the 2026 midterm elections approaching, his allies will likely frame the ruling as judicial overreach, part of a broader narrative that portrays Trump as a victim of an establishment determined to thwart him. Critics, however, argue the ruling is a long overdue correction to a reckless trade policy that alienated allies and drove up costs for American consumers. They point to studies showing that Trump's tariffs cost American households an average of $1,200 annually in higher prices for goods ranging from appliances to clothing. Trump's vow to fight back ensures the issue will remain front and center in the political debate. His base, largely supportive of his protectionist agenda, is unlikely to waver. But the broader electorate, facing inflationary pressures, may see things differently. What happens next will depend heavily on the Supreme Court. If the justices agree to hear the case, it could set the stage for a landmark ruling that defines the outer limits of presidential power on trade. Legal experts say the court could issue an emergency stay, allowing the tariffs to remain in effect while the case proceeds. That would prevent immediate disruption in global markets, but prolong the uncertainty